Hey, Anna, Domi, how's it going?
Hey Matt, how you doing?
Hello?
Doing great. So you just wrapped up your recent camp in Klatovy. How was that?
Rainy, windy.
It
Yeah,
was
we haven't had
amazing
much
though.
luck. Yeah, we haven't had much luck with weather with the European camps this day, but we made the most of it and we were very happy with the performance of the team there.
Excellent. I have a video you sent. We can go ahead and play.
Yeah, so that's one of Ewan's view,
Mm-hmm.
or cameraman extraordinaire. We were jumping out of two Skyvans and we were building out of a four-way base with four branches, basically, of spines and ribs, two line deeps on each of those sector.
Yeah, and you were telling me earlier, what was your motivation for having four spines on the four-way base?
We wanted to make it up close and personal and realistic tightness to what it was going to look like in the 200 way.
Tight like a tiger.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's a great thing to practice. I think a few folks were surprised in California how tight it can be if you're at the end of the rib or if the spine doesn't line up appropriately. Um, so it's really nice getting that practice in.
Yeah.
And it's really
Yeah, we
great seeing these ribs drive in too. Like this shape is really nice.
Yeah, that was a really good feedback that you sent after the California record of like actually showing with little drawings and the angle that we're looking at. And I think sharing those images with the participant was helpful to them as well to realize how close it should be. I think when you're on the ground, it feels like super crowded and as soon as you fly, it kind of naturally spreads out. But to maintain the integrity of the shape, and especially when you're going to start building four lines deep, you really want to bring them in.
Hmm. Awesome. And then for breakoffs, did you do radials or 180s?
So we did basically the closer on the last line being the
Hmm.
beacon. We've learned actually, thanks to Bertrand, that it was called a beacon now. So we've
Hmm.
tried to use the proper language. And I think one thing we've noticed is that if the closer line, like so the two closers were not perfectly aligned with the person in the base they're supposed to be behind of, then we run into a bit of an issue of those beacon actually having some of them a little bit too close to each other. Like we were doing 40 ways. It was small enough that it was never an issue, but on something bigger, I think that's something that we really need to pay attention to, making sure that those beacon have a strong geometrical integrity when
Hmm.
before breakoff happens, so they actually take people on the proper radial.
Yeah, that's a really great point. Yeah, watching this breakoff wave looks really nice with just kind of flocking together for that initial push. So really nice.
Yeah, it turns out Europeans can move.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. We had a really
Awesome.
great team actually, and it was one of the most challenging things about weather, which you know from competition and from records, is everybody needs to be in the right frame of mind to go at any moment. And everybody on this camp really paid attention to that. So they delivered on short calls in difficult conditions. And yeah, we were stoked with everybody.
Awesome. That's great. Well, nice job making the best out of a crappy weather weekend.
We sure did. We finished the beer at the drop zone too.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's impressive. Well, awesome. Well, thanks, y'all. It was good chatting with you and talk
Ellen,
again soon.
Thank you,
take it
guys.
easy. Bye.